Welcome to Spit Take. Here's my co-host Adam.
Hi.
Adam, what do you want to talk about first?
Oh, geez, so much to talk about. Let's start with some TV shows. I think Alien Earth just wrapped up with their eighth episode of the season finale. How
They
did
wrapped up
you?
with that today.
Last week.
Did I watch that?
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you if you had seen it.
I thought I did, but it
Yeah.
didn't seem to be an ending that I can remember.
So that was going to be my question to you: was how did you feel about it? So clearly, you
I
felt the same way I
honestly
did.
hold. Well, let me give me a second because I didn't realize that was the end. Um,
Yeah. So that was the last episode.
it
Um,
was episode 8.
yeah, episode eight. And so I got a little frustrated with it because it didn't have any type of conclusion for the season. Uh, and exactly like you said, you were like, wait, it that was the last episode? Like that's how like it ended with a big cliffhanger, but I don't think like anything in the season was resolved. I thought they would have resolved the storyline of some in some way and then on to the next adventure. I thought there was going to be something like that, but it just looks like great. Now we got to wait, a year, maybe 2 years to see what happens with this ending. And I don't even think it's been greenlit for a second season yet. So who knows? We might go the way of
I
Firefly
think
and
it
never get
was
it.
greenlit for a second season already. I think
Was
they did
it?
that early. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure they did.
All right. I'll have to look into
I'm
that.
thinking they want to expand these properties,
Yeah.
Alien and Predator. I think they're pushing it on us. I think it could because think about it. Even if it's not getting good ratings now, how much stuff blows up later? So
Yeah.
let's say they happen to release a movie, and like people watch and they're like, "Holy crap, this is great! I want to get into Alien." Oh, Alien Earth's been going on for 2, 3 seasons.
Yeah.
You know, and then just everybody just like third, fourth season, a bunch of people start watching it.
Yeah, and with the success of Alien Romulus and this not being far behind it, I think that they're really trying to drive on the Alien franchise. But I was, again, like the last episode just seemed like nothing really happened of significance. Like it didn't feel like a season finale in any way. Like,
I gotta pay attention to stuff because
yeah.
I was just watching. I wasn't paying attention to how many episodes there were gonna be.
Yeah, so
Uh,
it just kind of wrapped up for like with nothing. Like and all the humans and well technically the cyborgs are trapped in the that cell now and like the humans are there with their xenomorph or not humans, the hybrids are there with their xenomorph and it's like cool like what is this? What's happening? Because the show's been great. And then at this point it's like it ended way too suddenly. Like it almost felt like they didn't have a way to conclude the first season.
yeah,
So it was kind of a letdown as far as like a season finale goes. Oh, good show overall. I'm not going to knock the show because it is a good show, but they could have had a much stronger ending to the season.
but that eyeball
It's loose.
attaching to Arthur,
Yeah,
what direction does that bring it? Because I'm
that's
telling you, that eyeball's got some kind of plan. It knows that it's playing 3D chess, 4D chess. It knows what's going on. It's manipulating things,
yes.
acting like a stupid freaking thing.
I 100% agree with you, and I think that they're trying to lure us into a false sense of like the xenomorphs are like the problem, but that eyeball is going to be a worse problem. I
That's what
think
I'm
they're
saying. Like that eyeball evolves and then becomes seamless, or maybe regenerates parts of the body or something like that. Then it might have been in the universe in the beginning in some capacity. They
yeah,
can just shoehorn that in.
and they've explained how it's like ultra intelligent and everything, and it's been creating all these different plans and tricks, and it's been playing its own game. So like, and that's what I want to see. I'm almost more interested in the eyeball than I am the xenomorphs at this point.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's just say This eyeball was behind the whole thing
Yeah.
from the
And it,
beginning, and
yeah.
we didn't even know it existed. And
And if
let's
you
just say maybe that was the plan that they
Mhm.
never got around to.
Yeah, well, and if you haven't seen the show, what we're talking about is there's this like eyeball with these little squid arms, and it crawls into a person or animal's eye socket, pushes the eye out first, climbs into their eye socket, and takes control of their body. And as we found out in the last episode, it can take control of a dead body too. So interesting. But it's now loose on the island by itself, and all kinds of crazy shit happened, and that's where I was like, so that would have been a good like way to like end the season. I would have ended it like that, and I know they kind of did, but like with other stuff having been either concluded or just like holy shit moment. There was no holy shit moment. It was just kind of like boom, we're done, over. But I am glad to see that Timothy Oliphant's character is alive, even though he is severely damaged, because he's not a cyborg, synth. But I wanted that Prodigy guy to get his fucking comeuppance, and he hasn't yet.
Now, were the xenomorphs in previous movies, or any of the xenomorphs, controlled by Wendy to sabotage operations?
It could have been.
I'm just looking at how does this
Yeah.
tie in. You see what I'm saying?
Right, because you kind of want to believe that it ties into the movies almost, because it is a prequel. It's a prequel to the first Alien movie. It's 5 years
Right.
before.
That's what I'm saying. Like how this all wasn't just stuff that was in the movie. So how did they tie into everything? Because I'm
Right,
assuming not everybody knows what's going on too. You know,
right.
they're keeping it
Yeah,
under wraps.
and like you're talking about with the eyeball, like, is it in league with the xenomorphs? Is the eyeball trying to bring xenomorphs to Earth? Like, or is it trying to prevent, you know, an outbreak of the aliens?
Is it really like Sigourney Weaver was working for the bad guys, which was the eyeball,
Mm-hmm.
and Wendy was trying to stop the bad guys with the alien?
Yeah.
Was this all a fight between these two very supernatural, not supernatural, but extraterrestrial type,
Yeah.
futuristic type creatures?
Right, and that's where what I want to see is like, because when they saw each other, and I think it was like episode 5 where they were on the ship and everything. When they saw each other, they went at it. They didn't care about the humans. They were like, "We're doing this now," and they got into they. And the eyeball put up a good fight against the xenomorph, like bit it in the neck and everything.
Right.
Like it put up a good fight, but they saw each other like they were old enemies. So I think that that's going to tie in somehow, and it's quite possible the eye is trying to prevent, an actual alien outbreak. Like maybe it's more of a like a Green Lantern situation. It's kind of a space cop doing what it needs to do to protect
Yeah.
other
Well,
planets.
you know, and so I just think that would be so cool
Mm-hmm.
to just like I do like keeping franchises fresh, and I think the problem with like Star Wars is they try to do the same thing over again.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they
Trying
do.
to rehash it, and it's like if you're going to do the franchise, build the universe.
I know. Well, and that's so, and I feel like that's the biggest problem with what Hollywood does. They take like something that they take all the wrong lessons from movies, right? Like
Hmm.
they talk about how Deadpool was like this huge deal because it was the first, R-rated comic book movie, made like $1 billion and all that. And they talk about how great it was. And then they're like, oh, we should do a lot more rated R comic movies, which have not performed nearly as well. And it's like, well, because it was not because it was R rated, it's because we enjoyed the story that was there, and they stayed true to the character that we knew and loved.
And the
You know,
character, yeah,
the character was a huge part, but the story, I think, at the heart of it was
and
what
the
we cared
actor
about.
who played the character, we all kind of rooted for having this comeback from Green Lantern,
Yep.
and everybody like really likes Ryan Reynolds but doesn't like Green Lantern.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that were just in place there for that.
Right. And well, why like the reason Iron Man was such a success, they took the wrong lessons from that movie because it was a really well-written script with a really good story and an actor who played it, and it was a very vulnerable human dealing with his family's legacy. Like that was the story. It was a man dealing with
But
his family's legacy. But what
but
did
you
they
know who?
take out of that? The humor.
Yeah, right. But you know who learned the right lessons? Uh, Again, Deadpool,
Hmm.
right? Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
had a shitty Deadpool. I need to, and so what? So David Arquette, he won the WCW World Championship in the late '90s.
Hmm.
He's an actor, just
Yeah.
puny little actor. And wrestling hated him. Wrestling fans hated him because he wasn't a real wrestler.
Yeah.
Years later, I watched this documentary, probably like 5 years ago. Dave Arquette's old, but he went on that independent circuits, learned how to really wrestle, went down to Mexico, really got in the really wrestling shape, and actually became a wrestler to earn some respect.
Hmm.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Listen to the fans. With the fans, we we would like it if it looked more like Sonic and less hideous, like the little what was the Quizno commercials? You like the sub?
Oh, yeah, I
Remember
know what
those
you're
things?
talking about. I can't remember all of it, but
Fudge
I remember what
monkeys
you're
or
talking about.
whatever.
Yeah.
But then they learned, oh, okay, we need to make him look better.
Hmm.
And now they're on like movie 4 they're working on.
Yeah. And Ugly Sonic did get his time in the spotlight in the Chip and Dale movie, which I thought was fantastic.
Yes, they got to make a meme out of it.
Yeah.
Probably still made some money out of it
Yep.
and they had a sense of humor out of it.
Yeah. And they were like,
Ryan
oh,
Reynolds, just like David Arquette, just like Sonic, listened to the fans, got beat up by the fans, and actually wanted to earn the fans' respect. Didn't think I'm above the fans.
hmm,
I want to learn the fans' respect because I do have a affinity for this character, comic books, like every little boy does,
yeah.
and worked his ass off to leak a low budget clip of what they worked on
I
to
love
get
that
it
he did
greenlit by
that.
Fox.
I love that he did that. Amazing. He was like, oh no, this got out somehow.
But he's like, let them decide
Right.
if they want it or not. Not
And I'm
tell them what
always,
they want.
yeah, I always love it when they listen to the fans because it tells you that they're listening to like popular demand and they are understanding, hey, we did something wrong. And because they did that with the Snyder cut of Justice League, and it took years, but we got it. Um, and again, it's just about taking the right lessons away from things. And I think that they're taking the wrong things, like when they do their group studies, like, hey, what'd you like about this movie? I like that it had humorous moments. You know what? We need to make these movies funnier. Like, that's not the lesson to take. Like they have to have a good story, and that's one of the things that I love about James Gunn having taken over the DCU is that he is story first in everything he does, and at the same time he does play to the fans and he says, I'm going to honor your memories as your childhood memories of these heroes or characters, whatever you want to say. And I think that's why he's being very stuff. And I see all these shit postings by the Snyder fans all the time, like talking about how it's a failure and this and that. I'm like, nah, man, it's not. They're doing really good right now. But they're so dedicated to Henry Cavill as Superman, who I love. He's great, but I'm not like, oh no, fuck this. Like I don't
I
want to move
would say
forward.
it's where you. I wouldn't say it's like the biggest thing like the Avengers were.
No.
At least not at this moment. I'd say it's a little spark of bringing back the superhero,
Hmm.
especially because DC didn't really get their kind of universe age
No,
off
they
the
didn't.
ground. Doing it right, doing some enjoyable stuff, and uh, it could build into something big with Justice League or
Hmm.
Justice Gang. Uh, but right now it's like where you'd expect superhero movies to be after this many years. Like
Right.
how long was the Wild West the big thing?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
could have been for a long time. In fact, I'm sure it was for maybe 20 years, at least 30 years.
Well, and I still believe that Zack Snyder's like goal was never to build like a superhero universe really. Like he's like I'm starting with Man of Steel and I'm ending at Justice League and I'll do those movies in between. So he did Superman's, Batman versus Superman and then Justice League. And then there was the ancillary movies to the side, you had your Aquaman, Wonder Woman, all this. But I think he was trying to build up to that vision of what happens with Justice League and Justice League Part 2, which he never got to make, unfortunately. But I think he was just trying to tell that story, kind of like Eric Kripke did in Supernatural. Like he just wanted to tell, seasons 1 through 5. That's all he wanted to do. And then at the end of season 5, he left the show, and then Sarah Gamble, I think, took over, and McGee. So they took over the show, but he was like, "I'm just trying to tell this story here." He's like, "I'm not interested in spin-offs and all this." He's like, "I just want to tell my story," and I think that's what Zack Snyder was trying to do with all of that. I don't think he was like trying to drive home like this huge universe because he wasn't even in charge really of
I
all
have a
that.
feeling that story will be told. I
They
think
said they
it's
were.
gonna I think it's gonna be like what they're doing with Fox
Mm-hmm.
and Marvel now, to where there'll probably be some crossover of some sort, but then be
Yep.
able to build up enough to build into like maybe one last movie in Snyderverse.
Yeah, I would like for them to finish it, and they talked about doing a comic book to like complete the part 2 and everything. With James Gunn as the head of DCU, I could also see it possible. I mean, they've had one movie and they're already in the multiverse, right? So it's possible that there could be crossover there. There could be Elseworlds. I know he's a big fan of doing that. As long as the story's good, he said he would greenlight it. So I mean, and he is friends with Zack Snyder. They worked on Dawn of the Dead together. There was another project I think they did together, but they are like friends. They're fans of each other. So I have a hard time believing that James Gunn said, "Nah, we're not going to do
Oh
your
yeah,
shit."
I
You
just
know?
think they. It just seems to me like Snyder was going for some like gothic universe,
It was dark for sure.
even Superman, and wasn't just it wasn't just Snyder, even though Snyder's like child died and everything.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm thinking the network got in the way
Mm-hmm.
a lot, hence the Snyder cut,
Yep.
and oh, I think that's probably a big thing
Yeah.
because they were pushing. Oh, we need a dark, just like
The studio definitely you could see their influence on it because I think
yeah,
because if you remember when they had the first trailer come out for Justice League, and then they hired Joss Whedon. He came in, and the movie didn't have like any of the scenes from the trailer, so they reshot a bunch of stuff. They cut things, they did all this, and they left out a bunch of stuff that was supposed to be in the movie that kind of gave a little context to some things.
yeah,
So I think that really hurt the movie in general because I was like, wait, there was this whole thing going on here, and I'm like, where is this? And I think that the way the Snyder Cut came together was much better. I mean, I don't think anybody
yeah.
would disagree with that.
Um, yeah. I think you know, well, it's pretty much not James Gunn, but the guy above James Gunn that's in charge.
David
Uh,
Zaslav,
but I think he has a lot of influence on him.
yeah.
And so I think James Gunn would probably want for that to happen.
So from what he was saying when I was listening to him on the Tom Segura podcast, he was saying that him. So when they first offered it to James Gunn to run the DCU, he was going to turn it down. But then they said, "Oh, you can bring in David Zaslav too." So I think they're working as partners on this. Because he said that was the reason he took it was because David was on it.
That's because David is doing the stuff that James Gunn can't. James
Yes.
Gunn is more doing just creative.
Right.
He's not doing all that other stuff.
Right. The other guy's doing like more of the
That's what James
budgetary
Gunn
and
literally say. I'm not the one in charge. He is,
yeah.
because he doesn't want to be that person.
Yeah, which makes
He wants
sense,
to focus on the creative stuff.
He wants to do the fun stuff.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what you sign up for.
Yeah. So, but I mean, as long as we're talking about DC, let's talk about Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, spoiler alert for anybody who has not watched, was it episode 6? Episode 5 or episode 6? The one that came out just recently. We are going to talk about spoilers here because we just can't. The internet's ablaze about it, so we're going to chat about it. So, you go ahead, tell us what happened.
Um. Well, Chris and what's her name? What's the black lady's name?
Oh, Ada. Well, he calls her Ada.
Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
of them decided to go to the universe, and then the other part of the gang wanted to meet him in the universe. And Vigilante was the best part,
He for sure
uh,
was.
because he ended up going to his house. His dad's not gay and is in the living room with his mom, which tells me if this is the universe,
Uh-huh.
there's a reason he's not gay. Maybe he is gay, but he can't be.
Yeah.
And then there's a hilarious interaction between him and his alternate version of him,
It was pretty
which
great.
was probably the best part. I'm not going to reveal because that was probably the biggest thing there. But it's something, I feel like I already predicted. I think we
Well,
already predicted.
we already gave the spoiler alert, so yeah, if you haven't seen the episode, I would just turn this off, go watch it, and come back because it was pretty. And I mean, it's been all over, so I mean, probably people have seen it. But we talked about
Yeah,
this on the last podcast. They find out they're in Earth X, so they're in
right. They're on Earth X,
Nazi Earth.
but the black lady, I forget her name. Uh, is her name
Adebayo.
Adebayo?
Yeah,
Um, she, oh no, yeah, Danielle Brooks Adebayo.
yeah.
Uh, she is just going for a walk in this universe, and then Peacemaker's brother's driving by, and then there's people freaking out. He goes black. So obviously something bad's going down.
Uh huh.
Who was it that was stuck? The big tall guy, wasn't it? Or which one was it stuck in the house and the dad
Oh,
kicked the shit out of
yeah,
him?
John Economos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Economos. Yeah, Economos. And the alternate universe vigilante said that he works for the Sons of Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, as I've been saying, Sons of Liberty are actually the good guys. I'm actually thinking, okay, this is political. Uh, James Gunn's a bit of an Antifa. And the Sons of Liberty are like Antifa, and this Nazi universe is Trump.
Maybe. I mean, it's hard to say because Earth X has existed for a long time.
Everybody's got GI robots on their profile picture right now.
Yeah. GI
All
robots.
Antifa does.
I like going to GI Robot. I hope to God that James Gunn has enough of a blank check to just bring GI Robot into this season. Somehow.
Part of me thinks maybe there'll be like an after credit scene. I
Yeah.
don't think it'll be a part of the main story. I don't know how they can fit. Like he just goes wild in that universe. That would be fun.
It would be.
They could do that.
He's a robot specially designed to kill Nazis.
They can say, hey, call in GI Robot. We're send them to this universe. It's a threat. They have, maybe there's some kind of big thing where they're gonna go cleanse the rest of the universes or something like that. So they just have this episode where GI Robot's just slaughtering everybody in sight on
Yeah,
this planet.
it's and it's fun because we've seen Earth X before in live action. It was on the DC, sorry, the CW verse. They went up against Nazi Supergirl and Nazi Green Arrow and all that. Um, that was a good run there. It was like a 5 story arc between all the shows. But in any case, uh, them announcing that, and it comes at like the end of the episode. You find out that it's Earth X, and stuff kind of makes more sense because we had talked about it before. This is a very big possibility, but the opening title sequence, the credit sequence, makes a little bit more sense now too. Um, so if you haven't heard, Fortnite had this like emote of that you could do like a little dance with your guy if you like kill someone, or I don't know exactly how Fortnite works, but in any case, there's like a little dance you can do, and it's part of the dance at the beginning, and it's Peacemaker, and he's doing like the arm thing, and if you look at it as he's like alternating it, it's kind of a swastika, and Fortnite had to pull that emote down because people were like connecting that that's what it was,
You
and
know
I
what
find
it's
that
from
hilarious.
though?
What's that?
There is an old Donald Duck episode
Oh yeah, I saw that.
where he does
I saw
that.
that meme, or not meme
So
picture.
it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's what it is.
Yes. So it was kind of funny, but like there's some things that make more sense, and it actually crossed my mind at the beginning. And this, we find this out in the first episode
But
that
the thing is, like, we can't do that now.
no,
I mean, I actually I'm kind of cool with it. I don't need to see the dance.
no. Um, but the in the first episode of the second season, we find out already that there's an alternate Peacemaker in another, because I thought it was strange in the dancing credits in the beginning that there was Peacemaker without the Peacemaker outfit on and Peacemaker with it on. One was the bad Peacemaker, one was the good Peacemaker, goodish Peacemaker. But so that makes more sense because the one that's in the costume is the one doing the little Nazi dance, and the one who isn't, is kind of a little bit more subtle with like the dance. It's like the whole thing is showing character growth, right? Because like when we first met Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad, he was just a guy who killed doesn't matter who just to preserve peace. Like the first season, he's kind of coming to terms with some of the guilt he has about what he's done, and like this season's more of him just trying to be like a good guy. So I like that. I like the character development that they're doing with him.
Now we know that everything is alien technology,
Mm-hmm.
and all those helmets were not created. They're helmets from other universes.
Yep. Yep. They are helmets from other universes. I always thought that the helmet that he wears looks very similar to one that was it Orion wears, one of the New Gods in the comic books. It looks very similar, so it might be New God technology. Who knows? I hope they explain that more because I want to know more about it. Because like he makes the point of saying like my dad could never build that.
Speaking of staying on the comics topic, I do want to make a mention of Marvel Zombies. Watch it; it's beautiful. The zombies are gorgeous, and I've only watched the first 2 episodes. I've seen the Namor zombie. Oh my god, ruthless. Uh, so apparently they get worse and worse. There's a
Hmm.
couple, Hulk zombie, I think, whatever. Uh, I think it's one to watch, and apparently it's one in 2020. They filmed it in 2020.
No, really?
What's her name? The girl that plays Black Widow, Caitlin Olsen. She said,
Scarlet Witch.
I don't think it's Caitlin Olsen, one of the Olsen sisters. Um,
It's Caitlin
she
Olsen.
said that she doesn't even remember voicing Black Widow in it. She said she did it in her house. She just does not remember it because it happened in 2020 during COVID. And she's like, I have to listen. I haven't even watched it because I don't even remember when I did it.
Elizabeth Olsen, that's what it was.
Elizabeth Olsen, yeah.
Caitlin Olsen is
Caitlin
Dee
Olsen
Reynolds.
is Sweet D.
Sweet D. Yeah, I want to watch the Marvel Zombies. I'm finishing Wednesday season 2. I've got like 3 episodes left, and then I'm going to move to Marvel Zombies. And eventually I'll get to Reacher season 3. But I've read the Marvel Zombie comic book, so like I'm a huge fan of those. I actually read the Evil Dead versus Marvel Zombies, which I thought was like one of the coolest comics I ever read, because it's one of our heroes, Ash Williams, going up against the Marvel Zombies, and he kills quite a few of them. But he's also a bungling idiot who gets Doctor Doom infected, which is always fun. But I did see that. I watched the trailer for that. I've seen some clips. I do want to check that out real soon, because I remember seeing the Marvel like What If, and I really like that episode.
And they got a new What If coming out too.
I only saw the first season.
Second, third season weren't anything to write home about. I'm hoping this fourth season will pick it up. But I do like all the animation they're doing.
Yes, the animation is good.
I do need to watch the Black Panther series they have on there.
Oh, I didn't know they had one.
They have Eyes on the Wakanda. It's an animated series on there. I've heard some good things. Like it wasn't bad at all. So I do like the animated stuff they're pushing out. X-Men 97 season 2 should be coming out soon. We'll see what happened with Gambit.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, huge X-Men fan. I'm very excited for all the X-Men stuff coming up.
I want them to bring back 90s Spider-Man too. We never got a conclusion.
Oh, they had Hulk. They had an Iron Man. But yeah, the Spider-Man would be good because I think Spider-Man and X-Men were the two biggest ones.
Yeah, Spider-Man got canceled, so we never got to find out if he saved Mary Jane and everything. So they kind of left that as a cliffhanger. I would love even one season to just wrap it all up, because I've been waiting many, many years for that.
And I was always a big Hulk fan, and I know they did a couple episodes of Hulk. I don't remember how much, but
I like the Hulk cartoon. That was good. I used to watch that.
Would like to see more. I would like. It doesn't need to be a continuation of that because I don't even remember it.
No,
it didn't end up being that big, which disappoints me. But I would like to see a good animated Hulk. I know I saw what's his name, the guy that plays Hulk, Bruce Banner.
No.
Was talking crap like, oh, Hulk could beat Superman, Hulk can beat Red Hulk. So he's trying to build. I think they're trying to bring back the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
I think they recognize that people don't want whatever shit they're doing.
Oh my god, I haven't liked the Hulk since the first Avengers movie. Well, maybe, you know what? The second one, he actually was pretty cool too.
I haven't liked the Hulk since Edward Norton. I'm gonna be honest.
That was
the Hulk after that was disappointing. There was a couple good stuff. Him and Iron Man. What's the Buster? Hulk Buster.
The Hulk Buster armor.
Were pretty cool. That fight was cool.
Yeah,
there's a couple cool fights, but then once he just got his ass handed to him by Thanos, and then had no comeback for that. Like never came back. Just like he's coming into the fight, and he's like, "Why is he wearing that suit?"
Yeah.
And then the suit gets the arm ripped off and does absolutely nothing, and you're like, now he's gonna become the Hulk.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It's like, this is where it happens. Yeah. And then it does not happen at all. Next thing you know, he's a pussy.
Yeah. Hulk was the biggest letdown of the entire Avengers franchise.
Sorry, I just went on an autistic rant about what they did to the Hulk. It was, remember that episode of South Park where what's his name raped their heroes? Indiana Jones.
Steven Spielberg.
That's what Disney did to the Hulk.
Yeah.
Just like I'm not so sure the newer even Crystal Skull is as bad as they say it is.
Mm-hmm.
My only hang up, sorry, we just went from one subject to another.
I'm good.
My only hang up was when he just all of a sudden just was swinging with the monkeys, and they're like just like his dad, and I'm like, I had to go back and watch all the Indiana Jones movies, check in on young Indiana Jones. I was kind of looking for where Indiana Jones ever communicated with animals, just like for no reason.
Like, what was that a reference to?
Yeah,
Like,
that's like I literally went through everything. This is my autistic mind works. I'm like, really? I don't think he had like supernatural powers. Like he had a lot of lucky stuff happen, but it was like it wasn't just like the universe given luck. It
yeah,
was like somebody was clumsy.
right. Yeah, I don't know. Well, in the first three movies, well, let's give it to Raiders and Crusade. They were a little bit more grounded. Temple of Doom is still a good movie, but not quite as grounded. Surviving jumping off of an airplane with a lifeboat, kind of kind of going too
Yeah,
far there.
but all that's like normal for like action movies.
Sure.
Just like randomly, just like being friends with monkeys, wild monkeys in the jungle. Is that something that like regularly just happens, that like people who just happen to be really cool when the Indiana Jones bloodline, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right. Right. Like it would be funny if it was an obscure reference to something, but it's not.
But I need a explanation,
Yeah.
because if not, they're just like, no, this is just how it is with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's never been like that.
Well, and I was looking at I was looking at stuff, and I really want to go back and watch The Incredible Hulk again with Edward Norton because that was peak Hulk. That was the best Hulk they've
Yes.
had in a very, very
Yes, and
long
it still
time.
holds up. Him and Abomination.
Yeah. That fight scene was amazing. He actually says Hulk smash at some point. They whatever they did, like, because they made it so cartoonish, and that's what like really killed everything. They made it so cartoonish, like put a little money into it, like in time, because they made the one in the Edward Norton one. He looked fucking awesome.
But they do have plans for the Hulk,
I hope
Planet
so.
Hulk. But guess who said that they might show up in it? Eric Bana.
Oh yeah,
I am so hoping for an Eric Bana Maestro,
yeah, that would be cool.
because that's what Eric Bana. Because Eric Bana is pretty much like a, you can connect it to it all,
Yeah.
but I kind of, maybe you can make it say another universe.
Mm-hmm.
So on Planet or Future Hulk. So Maestro is Future Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
So you can somehow kind of say like this is some kind of split from the timeline somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, could be a time dilation or something. There's a lot of things they could
But making that Hulk then Maestro, you have to earn our respect by beating Eric Bana. We've had enough of you.
do. Yeah, the Eric Bana Hulk was not good,
I loved
but
it.
I didn't like it.
It had a comic booky feel.
It did have a
It
very
was
comic
more
book.
true to the size of Hulk.
Yes, okay, I will give you that. I The movie tried to do something kind of new in the comic book movie world, and it did not go over well. There was some redeeming parts to it, though. I will say
I
that.
think it's got a cult following.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of people that do like it.
yeah, it was definitely very campy, but like again, there were some like very redeeming parts to it, like where he's fighting the army guys in the desert, and he's like destroying the tanks and stuff. Like, I mean, that was pretty cool, and that was
But
like
that can
Hulk.
that can just as well be connected to the next one, the Edward Norton one
Sure.
too. Because Edward Norton one's like he's in Brazil or some shit and
Yes, that is
practicing
true.
breathing exercise. You know what I mean? So
Right.
the first one is like more of an origin. That's how you can connect them all. You
Right.
know, um, I just with everything they're doing with the Fox characters now, Universal. You know, They do have a lot of stuff going on. They got the Spider Verse
Yeah.
starting to go. Uh, so yeah, I am kind of interested. Marvel can make a resurgence. Now's the time to do it because Marvel Rivals is pretty big.
And
I think bringing a lot of newer kids that weren't there for all the movies.
I think they're going to have to earn the fans back. Like,
Right.
that's going to be the hard part is like people are already kind of like,
But
you know,
I'd be
like
more
Marvel's not going
interested
to
in
well.
introducing new fans
Yeah.
because hardcore fans are always going to be there.
Yeah.
I am always going to show up.
Right.
I went to see Green Lantern. You see, there are always gonna be people like me that are gonna show up and just watch it
Yeah.
and see how it is at least once. They're interested in bringing in the new fans.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see where Marvel goes. I've still got to watch. I know that the new Avengers is out. Thunderbolts, whatever you want to call it. I know it's out on streaming now, and I got to take some time to sit down and watch that one. I feel like there was another one I haven't seen yet. Oh, Fantastic Four. I got to watch Fantastic
Yeah,
Four.
that should be coming out. Or did it come out? I think it was coming out like real soon. Come in
Um,
October.
yeah, I think you could like rent it right now, but it's not available. I wait till it's
Yeah,
free.
both those movies are great. You're gonna enjoy both those movies. It is kind of a mini resurgence of Marvel. I know they're not focusing on TV anymore, but I think they're really
Yeah,
focusing on because they are. Oh, news, 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 news,
news,
news.
news.
They do have. They are going to have somebody replace Danny Rand. So they're
Oh,
going to
really?
have another Iron Fist, which there obviously have been other Iron Fists.
Sure.
The one that's in for Marvel Rivals is probably I forget what his name is, but he's not Danny Rand, the one that's in Marvel Rivals.
Oh, he's not.
Uh, yeah. So just like they've introduced, like what's his name, Reyes, Ghost Rider, in
Yeah,
Agents of Shield. I don't know if that's canon or not, but like you can introduce other iterations.
I think they said that Agents of Shield is not canon.
Yeah, but you never know because I would like to see what's her name, Bobby.
Hmm.
What's her name? Back in the Marvel universe,
Yeah,
Mockingbird.
yeah. There were some redeeming qualities about that one too. I was not a huge fan of Agents of Shield. It just
I
didn't hold
wasn't
my
either
interest.
because I didn't like. I didn't watch this to watch Agents of Shield. I didn't. I'm not. And Peggy Carter.
Yeah,
I want to see superhero shows.
yeah. Not the cleanup
Okay,
crews.
Peggy, Agent Peggy Carter is not what I came to. See. I didn't
No.
come to see Tony. Tony Senior.
Hmm. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I never even watched Peggy Carter. I had no interest.
I watched it. It wasn't bad,
Yeah.
and I like the actress.
Yeah. Well, in any case, what is that? That probably wraps up our comic book stuff. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is this. Okay, so Tilly Norwood, if you have not heard about this, is a made-up actress. She, whatever you want to call it. So basically, this company, I'm drawing a blank on the name of them right now. But anyways, they took all this like information about actors and the way they are, fed it into a machine, and said, "Hey, make an actress for us." Um, SAG is apparently very upset about about this. They've made a statement talking about how this could take away like people's jobs and stuff. So I watched a little bit of like a video with this Tilly Norwood. It was like part of the sketch comedy thing they did with it, and I mean it looks fucking real. It's crazy. Um, and right now, SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, is making um, basically making the statement that people don't want to watch robots; they want to watch people and have feelings. Robots don't know how to feel things and all this. I'm I'm two ways about it because I think that the industry, I do like that there's some creativity that's human and everything. It makes me feel good about that. But at the same time, I also want to see what AI can do. You know, I think we talked about this last week. Like what if they were to continue the Star Wars universe using like AI technology and like the making the characters that we love, Luke, Han, and Leia, young versions of themselves without doing like deep fake stuff. They do actual AI and they can tell stories with them. That would be awesome. So I think, there's obviously going to be all kinds of restrictions. There was a strike 3 years ago, 2 years ago, about AI technology within Hollywood. And it was kind of like a big deal where they said, "Hey, we are not going to have AI written scripts and blah blah blah." But that can only hold out for so long. Eventually, it will take over, and it will do that.
Well, did you hear about the new Meta social media site they're doing?
No.
It's all shared AI content. So
Huh.
you make AI content and share it. Facebook is already. I can make a sticker of Taylor Swift holding a knife with blood on it, and I have, and send it to people, and it'll look just like Taylor Swift, like
Yeah.
uh, so you'll be able to make games, which they're already allowing you to make games on AI. They're very shitty ones,
Yeah.
but it's gonna get better. I'm sure there might be a cost to make more premium stuff. Uh, and you know what? People are thinking, oh, it's never gonna work. Uh, you don't think people people are gonna watch it?
Yeah.
People are gonna get entrenched by it.
They will. It will take over these industries. It will absolutely do that. It is still in its infancy stage. I mean, we've been dabbling with this for about, what, 4 or 5 years maybe now. Like, I mean, we've been dabbling with it for much longer, but like, Chat GPT has not been out very long. Um, so I have dabbled with the Facebook AI one, in Messenger, where I've just like created pictures and stuff. And I actually sent one to my wife. I was messing with them. I'm like, hey, what do you think of this haircut? And she was like, "How'd you do that?" I was like, "Yeah, this is my, the AI thing on my phone. I just uploaded a picture of myself, told it what to do, and it showed me with like a new haircut. It's
Right.
useful. It's useful. It's 100% useful. And
Yeah.
I don't want to knock all the AI stuff because I use it at work all the time. I like.
But
There's no way that I'm going to write professional emails to people with what I really want to say.
I hate to bring up bad memories, but a couple of years ago, you had a dream of making a movie. Um,
Uh huh.
and think about all the time and production and people and pay or whatever. Think I have an idea, but I can't express it.
Mm-hmm.
What does AI allow me to do?
Right.
Cheaply express it.
Right. And I think that technology, I think the problem is that they're afraid that technology is going to give more people access to make that kind of content, right? So, because what, 30, we'll say 40 years ago, just to be on that side of things, 40 years ago, to make a movie, you had to be like in a studio, you had to have expensive equipment, and you had to have film, you had to have all these things. And now we walk around with a device in our pocket that you could use to shoot movies that were better than you could have made back in those days. Like you have more talent in your pocket to be able to do that and create these movies. Like you buy yourself $100 gimbal, put your phone on it, write a good script, use AI, who gives a shit, and you could film a movie with that. Now, cutting it together, editing it, that is something that takes a lot of talent, takes a lot of time, but you have the technology to do it, is what I'm saying.
I
So,
am. I've just been hired to teach yoga and meditation from home, and I made a room dedicated to this. So I got a room set up for this.
mhm.
It's laptop, got a little cheap one of those microphones that are like C drive,
Yeah,
that like it's Bluetooth microphone. So I just clip it on, and you hear me perfectly from across the room. And got like the best camera I could find, I think it was like $120 camera or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, probably, if I were to include the laptop, most people have a laptop or a computer, but it's like I can teach a professional class from a
Right.
room in my house.
Yeah. The technology is empowering us more than anything. There's times where I'm sitting there trying to figure out when I'm doing some of my programming stuff or building the game that I'm working on. I'm trying to figure out like just like a mathematics thing. And a lot of times I'm doing this at like 9, 10 o'clock at night and I'm like my brain's fried. I'm like, I just don't know how like I can't put the math together to do it. And I'll talk to Chat GPT and I'll be like, hey, if I do this, this, and this, like what's the outcome? How do I do this? Blah blah blah. And then the thing I love about Chat GPT is it will walk you through it. It doesn't just say, here's the formula. It says, okay, so first we're going to do this, then we do this because this happens, blah, blah, blah. So it is, if you use it the correct way, it's a learning tool. It's not just like, do it for me. It also will teach you how to do it if you're using it correctly. If you're relying on it to do everything for you, then you're not really learning. And I don't think that that's an effective use of it. But I mean, to each their own, I guess, right? But that's how I view it. Is I'm like, I want to know why this works. Please explain this to me, and it does. So I guess it all depends on how you're using the tool.
I This is probably out of left field, but whatever happened to Anonymous?
That's a good question. The hacker group, right?
Yeah, they
We
were
haven't
they were a
seen.
hacking group and they were going after Trump back in like 2020,
Yeah, we
and
haven't seen much from them.
like Trump, like there's so much outrage going on.
Yeah,
Where's Anonymous?
right.
I just think
Yeah,
it's interesting. They just kind of not. They don't exist anymore, and they're forgotten about and not mentioned ever again.
yeah. They're well, I think the cybersecurity world has gotten a lot tougher, and I think they've been finding them and like calling them out on stuff.
Yeah.
I know there was one incident, and God, this was like in the early 20 teens, I think, and they did something. They were like hacking Israel, like something in Israel. They were hacking, and like the Mossad figured it out, and they like found they basically connected to their webcam and took a picture of them and posted it all over the internet of Anonymous. They were like, "Yeah, don't fuck with us." It was interesting. But I think that's where a lot of cybersecurity has gone, like to be a little bit
Well, you
stronger.
got to think back in the 80s, we thought about a hacker as being some kid in their basement,
Mm-hmm.
and
Writing ones and zeros.
they could just, yeah, they could just sit down and start just clipping the keyboard, start doing this, not even touching the mouse,
Mm-hmm.
and then a bunch of stuff would happen. Um, so you got to think U.S. U.S. and some, sorry about my coughing. U.S. and some of these countries. Um, if you cut that out, go ahead. Uh, the U.S. and some of these countries, they are headhunting the the smartest people.
Yeah.
They might be creating them in the lab for all I know. But like, you do something, the government's reactive. They
Mm-hmm.
are not proactive. They will wait for you to do something before they do something.
And that might actually be the answer to your question of where Anonymous went. They were probably recruited.
That might be true.
They might have been told
That
like,
might be
"Hey,
true.
we'll give you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Come work for us and help us with,
Yeah,
these crazy countries." Because
yeah.
they were never like. I always felt that they were pretty politically ambiguous. Like they seemed to attack both sides often, but they were very talented hackers. So I could see them being recruited by NSA.
Either
Many countries.
recruited or imprisoned
Yeah,
for not joining.
yeah, that is possible. They might be sitting in a cell in Guantanamo Bay or
He
Alligator
might have
Alcatraz.
been holding a flag wearing horns on January 6th for all I know. I
Right.
don't know.
We don't know what happened to these people is the bottom line. But I would venture to bet that they were probably recruited.
they do not treat people who have went after the government well,
No.
right? Julia Assange,
Yeah.
uh, what's his name that's in Russia? Snowden.
Snowden. Yeah. The difference. So I do believe
Unless they
though.
are that trans army PFC kid.
What was what was the name of that guy, the criminal from Catch Me If You Can that Leonardo DiCaprio played, Frank something? He was one that was like scamming a bunch of people, and then the FBI ended up recruiting him to help
Right.
identify forgeries. So it is possible.
But he wasn't like going after
He
the
wasn't
government,
fucking with the
though.
government, no. But like, who knows what's behind what now? And I mean, like,
But
if you have somebody that powerful and turn them into an ally, you
they
know,
do
that's
do that.
good.
They do hire inmate. As a person who's worked for the Bureau of Prison. Maybe I'm not supposed to say this. They do hire former inmates,
Yeah,
whether it be for the Bureau of Prisons, for the Department of Justice, and then those inmates make a good living.
yeah, and yeah, there's people who make careers like honest careers out of being criminals. Well, and like, you know, let's not forget also Operation Paperclip, where the U.S. brought a bunch of Nazi scientists over to help them get to the moon. Um, that you know, we hired Nazis, so you know,
Yes,
they'll hire whoever to push the country ahead.
and then they taught us about Asperger's.
Yeah,
That's why
'cause-
they no,
yeah, I
literally.
remember
That's
hearing
why they
about. I
changed the
remember hearing
name
about that.
Asperger's to autism because Asperger's is named after one of those Nazis.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, did they help us win the space race? They absolutely did. Did they also do horrific things to the Jews? They did. So take that as you want
Yeah. Let's not go into that conspiracy theory
it.
hole. Uh, you have an explanation that you believe about why the U.S. was working with Nazis. I do not.
Hmm.
You see where I'm going with this?
I don't, but we'll talk offline about that. I feel like this is one of the things you got to tell me so that we can potentially censor it. Uh, but, but yeah, so the AI stuff. Going back to that, this Tilly Norwood, I'm interested to see what happens and if they make some actual like real content with her, because I want to see how it comes out. Like, as a curious mind, I want to see where this goes. You know?
And I'm very curious to see. I think they did announce new Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did say that characters would be AI.
Oh no shit.
I'm pretty sure that's where some game was gonna have something where characters gonna be AI. I was thinking maybe it was Fallout.
I mean, Skyrim
But
6
if
at this
not
point.
that, there is something where they were making like a well-known game that they were making all the characters AI. I know they have been doing that for like Skyrim. Like
Mm-hmm.
hackers have been making characters AI, and then they become like self-aware,
Yeah.
and then you can actually talk to them.
Yeah. Oh, I could see them doing that with Skyrim 6 for as long as it's been, not Skyrim 6, Elder Scrolls 6. For as long as it's been taking them to put that game out. That game was announced like, what, in 2018, 2017,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. So the fact that that game has still not come out 10 years later, and I have a feeling that they are working on some big stuff with it. I could see that if they perfected what they were doing, taking that into Fallout 5, which would be cool, and I would probably play the shit out of those games. Um, but yeah, I could see them
It's
doing that.
supposed to be able to last a lot longer than that Skyrim has. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
That's why they're taking so long with it, because they want it to last. I think they're kind of done with Elder Scrolls, because I think it does take a lot to make an Elder Scrolls game.
yes, I think so. I think it takes more to make Elder Scrolls than it does Fallout.
Yes, there is so much depth to Elder Scrolls and the lore and
Yeah.
the universe. Um, and yeah, I feel like they really want to tell the Fallout story because it's been 9 years since the last Fallout was out. Something like that, 10 years.
I don't
Uh,
even. You know what? I'm trying to think because when I started playing Fallout 76, I had roommates, so that would have had to have been at least 2018, 2019, if you count Fallout 76, which is the MMO.
yeah, it wasn't that long ago compared to
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls.
Fallout 4 came out. I'm trying to do the math. It's. God, I don't even remember.
And they had that Starfield come out. I know that you like it. I don't know if maybe they've improved it, but I wasn't a big fan.
I heard the
Um,
the the mods make it better. Or the
I'm
mods
sure
make it much better.
I'm sure they got good mods in there now.
They had like some Star
Um,
Wars ones where you can find Mandalorians.
yeah, interesting. I don't think the people should be making your game worth it for you. I know I was playing it and I walked into some city and everybody was pissed at me and then kept trying to kill me and I don't know why and I could not go back to that city again.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, that is
but the
typical
planets were
Bethesda.
pretty empty. There wasn't a lot to really explore.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to figure out because I picked the class where you get the house to start with, and I was like, and now I'm trying to figure out how to pay the rent on my house, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What am I doing? So, but I never play long enough. The problem is I don't have time to play. Like I get a couple hours a week. That's not enough to play any of these Bethesda games. Once these kids get older, so take your time with Elder Scrolls 6 because once these kids get older and they don't need my supervision as much, I'll be able to play more. But in the meantime, and hopefully I'll be rich then too. That would be ideal.
Yeah, I get to play like nonstop for like 4 days a week.
Yeah, that's got to be nice.
Oh yeah, days go by fast.
That's how I used to be back in the good old days. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to talk about tonight.
Well, I just want to mention I've been really playing Marvel Rivals a
Yes.
lot for the last couple months. Really perfected my cloak and dagger play. Not peak level yet, but I'm at about 15, 16,000 heals per 10 minutes in competition. A lot of times top of healing or close to the top. Uh, and apparently, what a lot of people are saying is the community is more toxic than ever, and
Hmm.
it's why, as we were talking about before, is why I tend to avoid games that involve community
Yeah.
because I can't deal with other people being toxic. So, like, if you're the healer, they're blaming the healer, even though they have like 2 kills and I have like 13,000 heals. In like a 4 minute round.
Right.
You know, and they can't fathom the idea that they're taking off somewhere else and not sitting in front of the line of sight of the healer. They're not protecting the healer, so the healer keeps getting dived on. Uh, you know, uh, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of reasons why you're not getting heals, and might I say, still won, but didn't want to say they were wrong.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of annoying
Sure.
because I'm literally looking at my stats and calculating, seeing am I getting better? Am I up there with everybody else? And I seem to be up there with the very good healers at the moment.
Yeah. I've played it a few times. I haven't dived into it as deep as you have.
We should play together. You should get
We
on.
should. We should play together. Let you know when I'm free.
You could be
But yeah.
Punisher.
Yeah, I played a little bit and I did pretty well with my buddy Nick. I think, what did I play? I played as Punisher most of the time. But that's the hard part is those communities, especially those 5-on-5 communities. Like I played Rainbow Six Siege a lot, and that was a 5-on-5 deathmatch type thing. And that could be a pretty toxic community. I mean, people would just get like go off on you. That's why I always like mute people. I'm just like, fuck you, I don't want to listen to you. But sometimes you run into people if you're in so the Evil Dead game that came out, I think it's been a couple years now, 2 or 3 years. That game was a lot of fun, and I would just join into random teams because it was a 4 versus 1. It was four people versus one monster, and it was I played the shit out of that game. I got pretty far in it. Um, and every now and then I join up with somebody, and the guy would be like, "Hey, like do this, use that. If you combine this ability with this, like there'd be people who would kind of coach you, like, here's what you need to do with that position that you're in." And they would kind of like help you, and like you would get better and learn. And those are good communities. Then you'd also find people just being like, "You fucking suck," or they'd rage quit or whatever, and you're like, "Dude, fuck off, get out of here."
Yeah, and they take out everything on you.
Yeah,
Um, and I'm just like minding my own business, and then people just say shit,
yeah,
and it's like, damn, man, like, why are
yeah.
you on here?
Like
I
it's
had
a
someone
game, loser.
crying, and I saw this happen in another video too. People crying because they want to be Cloak and Dagger, but you're Cloak and Dagger, so they
Jesus.
can't play that character. Like getting mad. 'Cause I did get that today. Getting mad because I want to play a certain character. Throwing a fit because they want to play a certain character.
Yeah.
So I got to the point where like I'll do a round and just blow up the round and say, okay, you want to do better than me? You go. And then uh, I'll get like 20 kills because I do have my DPSs. I got Star Lord and
Hmm.
uh, uh, Winter Soldier is a pretty freaking mow down character.
Yeah.
Uh, but like they'll get like 4,000 healing or something like that, and then we'll
Okay.
lose because
Yeah.
of them.
Well, and that's part of it. So this is a part I struggle with my brother and our friends when we play games together is like trying to create the paradigm that works. And I'm like, stop trying to be the same class. I'm like, there's a reason they're separate classes because they all have their own strengths and you need them all if you're gonna. So I have to tell them like, pick like you pick the leader, you pick the range, you pick the melee, you pick this. Like the game we're playing now, it's like I was like, okay, I'll be the archer. I was like, somebody's got to be the wizard, somebody's got to be the tank, somebody's got to be the DPS, and I'm like, you know, so trying to be like, come on, guys, like you got to understand the dynamic of the group in certain games like that to become like a strong team. But I will say I don't really play that many games online with strangers anymore. Like I play with my friends, but I probably will get Battlefield 6 if I have the money because I love the last one I really played was Battlefield 4. I skipped Battlefield 5, but I played the shit out of Battlefield 4 and it was amazing. So I probably will get that and I will probably rot away on that for a while because that was an awesome game. And I will go in and I will fuck shit up. The thing my favorite part about Battlefield 4 was that people could put in their own set of rules, but they were just like written rules. It wasn't anything they put in to be like, if you do this, like it'll kick you from the game or it'll restrict this. So people would be like, oh, no Stinger missiles or whatever. But like you could still equip it, and so I would still do that. I'd equip it and I'd find the helicopter that's just going around mowing everyone down, and I just take it down, and then I get kicked from the game because that's who I am. Goddamn martyr. But
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about, okay, branching out to other, games like that.
yeah,
But I'm just a, you know, love superheroes. So, uh, I would like them to do the same kind of game with DC.
yeah.
I would love to see that.
Did you ever play Dead by Daylight?
I haven't played. Oh, is that the horror?
Yeah. So it's the one where you
I think
have
I played it. I didn't get too far in it.
yeah. I think you have like I think it's 4 people. I think you have 4 people versus one monster, and they have like a lot of classic movie monsters in there because they have all these skins and stuff you can get. Like you can go up against Jason, a xenomorph, and those different things. But like you're basically running around trying to start up generators so you can escape the arena. But it's a 4 versus 1, so you got four 4 human players versus 1 human enemy. So it's it is fun, and I go back to it every now and then, and I'll pick it up and play. I have to play the tutorial again because I always forget how, but that is a fun game. I like the 4 verse ones. Those have been very interesting to me. They did the Ghostbusters one, Spirits Unleashed, which was a lot of fun. That was on Epic Games. Um, so like one person was the ghost, and 4 other people were the Ghostbusters trying to catch it. Those I
Yeah,
really
they got
enjoyed those
something they're
games.
adding to the remake, the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
Uh huh.
They're adding a multiplayer mode to that. Apparently, the remake's been out for like
Oh,
a month or two. I've already beaten it um, because I'm a Metal Gear fanatic. But
yeah.
yeah, they were adding something to it, which I don't. I'm kind of interested because what the frick is up with this thing? Sorry, I'm kind of interested, but like I don't know. Um, anyway, so I'm trying to log into
Yeah.
this thing, and it's pissing me off.
So yeah, I mean it's but again, going back to like the toxic players and stuff, and that's what a lot of the reason I don't really do too many online games anymore. Um, I will do Helldivers 2 because that game is fun as hell. Um, that one's very popular right now, and it's like it's joined community goals, right? So like the developers give you the like, okay, you need to hold this planet, and by completing missions, you add like percentages onto like completion and everything. So you have to do everything as a community, which I thought was really cool. But they give different missions, so it's not just like kill this many, do this, and then they keep coming out with new enemies, new weapons, new everything. So they keep it like they keep evolving it, and there's kind of a I want to call it a story, but it's kind of like trying to think about how to they're advancing like what's happening further and further, like with a little bit of story. Um,
Hmm.
but it's the way they did it was so perfect that it can keep you engaged forever. And they said they have
Yeah.
no plans of stopping content. They're like, we're going to keep going and keep adding. So people are thinking that we're going to see new race of enemies soon. Because right now you have the bugs, you have the machines, and then you have a group called the Illuminati.
Hmm.
And so there's like 3 different fronts you're fighting this war on. And it's dude, it's so crazy, and like the gunfights are so good, and it's like you drop in as 4 players, and then you have to go complete the objectives. But I mean, the combat in there is very intuitive. It is, it's a ton of fun. And again, I haven't played in a while, but my buddy said he picked it up again. And I was like, I might have to do that because I keep
Yeah.
watching the videos of it. It's pretty badass.
Hmm.
But if
Yeah.
you looking to get into a game, I highly recommend that one.
Yeah. We'll see. Uh, there's a couple games I want to play. There's a new Silent Hill coming out. There is the Silent Hill 2 remake
Yeah,
I want to play. Um, so, I mean, there's a lot I want to play, and plus I got like a lot of free games that between PlayStation Pass and Xbox Pass that maybe I should play. So,
yeah,
trying not to
right.
spend money and stuff.
Oh, for sure. I know I haven't like spent any money on games at all lately, so but like I said, Battlefield 6 I might break the bank for that. We'll see.
Hmm. Yeah, but anyways, we should play. You should get on Marvel Rivals with me. Uh, it is. I don't know. It. I feel like probably since the last time you played, there's some like been characters added and stuff like
Oh,
that.
probably. It's been months.
So there's gonna be some like annoying stuff going on where you're just like, oh man, I'm getting my ass kicked because I don't recognize these other characters. I've been wanting to play Overwatch. I have never played it, but
I
this
hear
game
it's
makes me want to try it now.
yeah, I didn't play it long enough to really understand a lot of that, like who the characters were, like what their strengths were. So I dabbled in it, I should say. Like I dabbled in it. I played a little bit. I got a lot of kills, surprisingly. But yeah.
Yeah, but you were probably playing it at a time where people weren't as skilled too.
Yeah. It was not long after it came out. I'm sure that people have gone crazy with it now.
Now, there are YouTube videos of how to play each character the best and what the number one character in the world does, and people coaching and paying for coaching.
That's crazy. So much fun though.
Well, they have tournaments literally right on the game.
Yeah.
You can win money on those tournaments right on the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen that. They do that in a lot of games now. Call of Duty definitely has that.
And you can watch them
Yeah.
on the game.
Yeah. I think they all, what is it, Twitch they use to do a lot of it, like to stream it.
I ain't gonna lie. One of my goals is to be in one of those tournaments now. That's why I'm playing so much.
Well, I believe in you.
Something to put in the old bucket.
Yep, I believe in you. I think you can do it.
Yeah.
So-
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm not
no.
gonna puke.
No worries. All right. Well, anything else?
No, I'm gonna call for long out. Yeah, take us home.
All right. Thank you for joining us this week on another episode of the Spit Take Podcast. Remember, you can catch our live show 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 Eastern Time every Tuesday. And we hope to see you next time.
Level up, guys.